Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for your core training today. We've got a few planks to get through today, and we're gonna do a little bit of lying down work also. So if you want to grab a mat for comfort, you can, and join me back here for your warm-up. So I want to start our warm-up today by finding our neutral position. So I want you to place both of your hands on your stomach. Keeping a nice tall posture, both hands are on your stomach. I want you to bring yourself forward, which brings both of your hands closer together. This takes us out of that neutral position. Now go the opposite way. Expand so that your hands come apart. This also is taking us out of that neutral position. So we want to start right here, where our hands are gently resting on our stomach, and we're nice and tall through that spine. No collapsing, no extension. Right here in that neutral space. We're going to try to keep ourselves in this neutral space as we go through our movements today. So let's get this warm-up started. I do actually want to take you a little bit out of neutral as we roll down towards the ground. So allowing those hands to come together, bringing them then down towards the floor. And as you roll up, I want you to think about stacking each of your vertebrae on top of one another and returning to that neutral positioning. So our hands would be in that neutral position again. Let's do that again. Rolling down and releasing through the spine. And then from here, stacking everything up, waking up all the muscles around your spine to restack everything and find that great alignment. From here, I want you to turn your shoulders. Notice it is just my torso moving. Come back to center, squeeze through the core to turn the torso the other way, and then come back to neutral. Let's do that again. Twisting one way, add a reach if you want to, squeeze to come back to neutral, reach the other way, and coming back to neutral. Good. I want to warm up the back side of the body also, because when we do planks, we want that back side of the body to help support. So I want you to think about really strengthening through the thighs, lifting your kneecaps so that they come up closer towards your hips. So a nice squeeze to activate those legs. Now I want you to push your hips behind you, bring it to a nice forward hinge, stand up nice and tall, squeeze the glutes, hinge again, and squeeze the glutes. As you stand tall, those kneecaps come up and those legs get a little stronger. Pushing back and squeezing to stand. Very good. Shake that out. A few of those things we're going to revisit when we are doing our planks today. I want you also to warm up those shoulders because you keep hearing me say planks, plural. We have a few to do. Let's go the other way. The moves that we do today are going to challenge your strength through your abdominals, but also your coordination, and making sure that you are bracing 360 degrees as we go through these moves. So our first move, no surprise, is going to be a plank, but we're gonna start with a wide footprint, and we're gonna walk out to this plank. So that means we're gonna go into a squat position before we walk out to this plank. Now, once we get out there, we have some fancy footwork to do. 10 seconds and we're gonna get going. Trust me on the fancy footwork, it'll be fun. Find that neutral position, get ready to squat. Let's go. Squat it down. Walk out to that plank position. This is the fancy footwork. Come to one side, come to the other, find that wide position and come back to your squat and stand. Do the same thing. Squat it down nice and low. Walk it out to that plank position. Tap the toe one side, then the other. Wide feet to walk back in and stand. We are going to keep at this for a minute. Staying in that strong plank position and not allowing your hips to tilt back and forth as your feet move. Squeeze and brace from the lower abdominals before you move your foot. Squeeze to stand. Done that one.
shake that out, take a little rest. Our next one, we're gonna be down on the ground. So this is going to be a little bit more isolated. We're gonna be doing leg lifts. So I need you to lay down with me here. And again, finding that neutral spine, but this time I want you to brace just a little bit. Pull it in, lift your legs, and join me for these leg lifts. Now you'll notice my torso is slightly off the mat, and I'm squeezing my entire core to brace myself. If you want a bit more of a challenge, lengthen the lever of the leg, keeping everything braced right here. You'll notice I'm not letting my back arch. I want to keep everything braced into the ground. Remember those options? Squeezing everything as you lower, tightening it even more to lift back up. Keeping nice and strong through that torso. Lift up a little more if you can. Keep those elbows wide, don't pull them in here. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. Take a little rest. All right, you don't have to get up. We are going to go to another plank. So this is where it gets a little fancier, and we're gonna challenge a little bit of your coordination. So I want you to start with narrow feet. So join me right here. Narrow feet. Now the first thing I want you to do is this time you're gonna tap out wide and bring it back. Tap wide and bring it back. Now, this may be enough for you, but if you want to challenge, look. Take that hand with you. What I do not want to see is your hips opening up. We want to make sure that our hips are staying square to the ground. No piking. Don't let it come up here. Staying in that plank. Pull the belly button in towards the spine and pull those kneecaps up towards your hips. Keep that leg strong. Hang in there. 3, 2, 1. Take a little rest. We're gonna come back down onto our mat. We're going to anchor again. So first find that neutral spine, then find that anchor point. I want you to lift your hands. Now lift your feet and swim. Think about this being tiny little flutter kicks right here. It's not a big movement, but everything comes from this anchored point right here. Now you can make it a little bigger and slower if you want a little bit more control, or go a little quicker and smaller and really isolate right through that core. A little bit of speed, bracing through here. Try to keep it moving or make it bigger and more intentional. You choose. Bend the knee if you need a bit of a rest. You can still do it quickly with the bent knee, but keep going. Do what you can. Right here is holding on tight for 10 more seconds. Hang in there. 3, 2, 1. Oh, you can use those legs to help rock you up. One more plank and then you're gonna get a longer rest. So this plank is a doozy. We are still working on that stability in our plank, but this time I want you to think about bringing your hand and your knee together. Now, as it was before, our goal is to keep our hips square to the ground. So that means I'm not rotating or counterbalancing. I'm keeping everything square to the ground. Now this requires lower abdominals to pull in first before you lift the hand and knee. Now if you want a bit of a challenge, I want you to focus on lifting the hand and the foot off the ground at the same time. So they come together, without there being a moment that you balance in a tripod. You go from 4 points of contact to 2. Hang in there. Go a little slower. Take your time. Take a little rest. Shake that out. Now, as promised, you're gonna have a little longer reset this time around. We're gonna do the same moves, the same 5 moves, and less amount of time on the clock. So you've only got 40 seconds of work the next setting. So reset that spine, reset the body. I need you to come on up here because we're going to do those same 5 exercises again, starting with that squat walkout. But don't worry, you've still got, 18 seconds to go. So step it out wide. Find that neutral positioning again. And remember, we are squeezing through the whole body to make this happen. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Bring it down low. Walk it out. Here's that tap to the side. Bring it back to that low squat and stand it up. Engage the lower abdominals before you move the foot. Sinking it down nice and low. Shoulders over top of those hands. Stand up nice and tall. Good, bringing that up. Okay, down onto the ground. Anchoring in for our leg lifts. 90 degree or extended. Right here is anchored, really isolated through here. Lift those shoulder blades up off the ground. Here we go, lower and lift. Each time you go to lift, I need you to squeeze a little bit more. So we are not allowing this kind of momentum to help us. It is an intentional lowering and an intentional lifting, anchored right through here. Remember, it's a little tougher if you lengthen that lever, and you may find your range of motion is a little shorter. That's okay. Do what you can. Hang in there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome work. Shall we plank again? Come on over. All right, this is the plank where we are going to start in a narrow position and step wider. Option, touching the shoulder along with it. So join me. Here we go. Start with that tap out. Get a feel for it. Keeping that strong neutral spine, kneecaps pulled up towards the hips. And then add that tap. Not letting it get up here. Where are your hips? Your weight is pushed forward into those hands. Don't let all of the weight be in your feet. Hang on to it. Rest. Back to our core swimmers. This is a tough one. I find this one really isolates the front side of the abdominal. So you ready? Come on back here. Anchoring in that body one more time and getting ready. Here we go. Let's swim. Remember those options. Slow, deliberate movement, or quick, adding speed and anchoring right from the core. Try to keep it going. Everything around your spine is working really hard right now. Bend those knees if you need. Change your pace if you need. Just keep it moving. Hang in there. Re-anchor to the ground. Has your back started to arch? Pull it in. 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Flip it over. Knee to palm. I want you to go as slow as you can this time. You'll see it's a little more difficult when you take your time. So let's get into that plank position. Here we go. Pull hand and knee together. Trying not to have 3 points of contact, right? We want to lift at the same time. And trying not to allow that counterbalance. That's the hardest part. Squeeze before you lift. Kneecaps pulled up towards your hips. Slow it right down. Almost there. Push it forward for 3, 2, 1. Longer rest. Shake it out. And let's do one more round. This time, it's only 30 seconds per exercise. So this is the final round. Take a second, release, find that neutral spine. You get a bit of an extra rest here. Reset, one last time. 5 exercises, 30 seconds of each, and then we're done. So you've got about 20 seconds till go time. We're gonna go back to that wide stance, getting ready to do our low squat to walk out. Resetting the spine, shoulders back, open chest. Get those feet a little wider. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down low. Walk it out, coming to one side, the other. Step it out wide before you push back. Nice neutral spine as you stand. Nice work. Come on up, shake that out. Did I mention it's a shorter break? Come on, we got less than 10 seconds. Leg lifts, here we go. Bring it right here. Now remember, we are squeezing everything around the spine, anchored in. Don't let that back arch, especially if you have those legs extended. No arching. Change your range of motion and keep working. Make sure you're breathing. 3, 2, 1. Only 10 seconds, so come on over here. We're back to that narrow plank, narrow feet. Here we go. Tap it wide. Bringing the hand if you want to. No rotating through those hips. Squeeze. Keep breathing. 10 seconds left here. Hang on to it. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Okay, anchor down again. We swim right here. 30 seconds. Do what you can. Bend those knees. If you feel like you cannot maintain that form through the core and your back is starting to arch, you need to bend those knees. Or slow it down and methodically move through this movement. You don't have to go fast and flail. I want to keep that really good form. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. That means this is our final move. Palm to knee. Let's do this. Here we go. Squeeze, reset. Take your time, slow it right down. Just because the interval is shorter doesn't mean I want you to go faster. Take your time, squeeze. Almost there. Set that down, release, bring those shoulders up, back, down. Find that neutral spine. Give everything a little shake out. That's the hard part, done. But don't go anywhere just yet. I want you to roll your shoulders back, finding that neutral spine. Remember, just like this, we're not back here, we're not forward, we're neutral. Rolling those shoulders. Good. From here, I want you to do that torso twist again. So to one side, coming back to the center, to the other, back to the center. Add a little reach this time. Bring that back, other side. Bring that back. Clasp both your hands together. Release through that spine that we've been working so hard to maintain in a neutral zone. You can let it go. Sitting up nice and tall, clasp those hands behind, pull the shoulders back. Try to lift your hands away from your body. Set that down. Neutral spine one more time, and you are done. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that I'm going to see you in my next video.